How's it going, guys? Wanted to do an EDC or everyday carry update. It's been quite a little bit, and my EDC has changed, and so I wanted to show you some of those changes. But I wanted to also kind of talk a little bit about why I carry some of the things I carry. I know I get a lot of questions on some of my past EDC videos as to why I do what I do. And so I kind of want to just, as we go along, talk a little bit about why I do or carry each item that I have. I've kind of reached an equilibrium point with my EDC where I'm kind of in that mode where I know what I want to carry and I don't really add a whole lot of stuff to it, and I haven't really taken anything out. So I've kind of reached that sweet spot where I think I feel like I have everything that I need in the EDC. So let's go ahead and get started. The front right pocket is usually my keys. That's where I keep my keys. And also I have my multi-tool, which is the Leatherman style PS. So that rides in there, and then my pepper spray, which is the Saber Defense pepper spray and CS gas combination. This item right here, the Leatherman style PS, is by far the most used item in my EDC. This one has the pliers on the inside, and the most used item on this multi-tool is the scissors. I'm always using the scissors for something. There's, like the other day, I had to cut a couple pieces of paper in half, cutting tags off of clothing, strings off of clothing, trimming my nails or cutting the cuticles or something like that. That thing comes in handy like crazy. The second most used item in this style PS is the tweezers, and they're actually really fine tweezers, and so you can get at like slivers and things like that pretty well, and so that is something that probably gets used the second the most. Other than that, like the other day, there's a screw on one of the doors of my minivan that comes loose occasionally, and so this is kind of like a little Phillips slash flathead screwdriver, and so I was able to tighten up the nut on that, or tighten up the screw on that door the other day with that. I never ever use the file, never have, but it's there if I need it. So bottle opener, never use that. I don't really drink out of a lot of bottles. And then the pliers. Now the pliers, I don't really use the pliers a ton. I've used them for tightening down cables or terminals on somebody's battery once. Their battery cables were loose and their car wouldn't start. So I was able to pull these out and actually be able to tighten the nuts down with that. So actually those came in handy. But this is my most used EDC item that I carry to date for sure. Besides like wallet and scissors and all that. The other item in my right front pocket is this pepper spray, and you guys have seen this in past videos. This is nothing new to me. But the reason why I carry pepper spray is because you never ever know when you might be in a situation where you are going to not be justified in using lethal force, or that you don't want to use lethal force, but you still need to stop a threat or have a tool in order to do that. And I think pepper spray is one of the best options for that. Like, for instance, on usage of this is, like, maybe you're out in the neighborhood on a walk with your kids or whatever, and a dog comes up, and you don't necessarily want to have to open fire on the canine, but you still want to get it away from you. Pepper spray is a really good option for that, really good option. So that's something that might be something that you'd utilize pepper spray for. And there's a bunch of different other applications as well. That's just one of them. But I really think that if you guys are not carrying something that's less than lethal in your EDC, that you're really kind of limiting yourself, because there are going to be situations where you're not going to be able to draw your firearm, but you could still use something less than lethal. So anyway, guys, if you don't have a less than lethal option in your EDC, really, really heavily consider one. Okay, now, left front pocket is where I keep my phone, and this is the Samsung S3. I could have gone with the Samsung S4 because it was out when I did buy this phone, but I decided that it wasn't worth the money for the extra features that they had on it. This is sitting in an Urban Assault Gear case. I like this case because it's super thin and it protects the phone really well, but I absolutely love the S3. I think it's by far the best phone that I've ever had. Anyway, I really, really love that phone. It's awesome. No complaints, really. Also, what rides in my front left pocket is the Phoenix PD32 Ultimate Edition flashlight. Now, this is another thing that is not new to my EDC. You guys have seen this before. I keep meaning to do a review on this light. It's ridiculous because I've got the beam shots and everything for it. I just need to sit down and do a tabletop review of it. But this light is by far my favorite light I've ever owned. It's just incredible, an immense performer. This thing has the capability of throwing 740 looms out the front, so it's crazy bright. And one of the things that's interesting about this light, the PD32 over the Ultimate Edition over the regular PD32, is that this one has a much broader spill beam, whereas the PD32 regular has a tighter, more collimated beam. And I'm usually not a big fan of wide spill beams, like wider beams. But in this case, it is so bright with 740 looms that you're easily able to get away with a broader beam. So it really lights up a lot. Like it as a searchlight at less than 75 yards, I think this thing really excels. But it's also really good for EDC tasks because that wider beam plays into EDC tasks a lot better. I always keep it on the 400 lume mode, which is turbo mode. I do that because if I ever have to pull this out, I want it on one of its brightest settings because that's most likely when I'm going to be using it. And if I don't want to, blind myself close up, I'll just stick it on my palm and then I'll just click it and click that twice and I'll be in low mode. So I always align the pocket clip up with the selector switch on the front just so I always know where the selector switch is. That's one of the things that I don't like about this interface, having to bring your finger forward, is that you might not be oriented to where that switch is. But if you keep the pocket clip in line with it, then you're good to go. You know where it's at. So, but anyway, 740 looms out the front of this bad boy. It is super, super bright, and it's an awesome flashlight. It uses CR123s as well. So this, I've had this for a couple months now, and I've only gone through one set of batteries, and that was because my 3-year-old got a hold of it and she left it on. So anyway, that's like, those are kind of expensive batteries, so, but that's how it is. So that's the left front pocket is the phone and the flashlight. And in the pocket it rides exactly like that. The flashlight is clipped to the pocket and it sits just like that in the pocket with the phone and the flashlight by each other. Okay, all right, right rear pocket is the wallet. If the wallet is not in my right rear pocket, then it's in my EDC bag, but that is my left rear pocket. All right, so let's talk about knives. Now, I always carry a knife on me, and the knife varies a lot, but I'll tell you what, I've had one knife for the last month that I've been carrying, and it's absolutely awesome, and it's probably one of my favorite knives of all time, probably my absolute favorite knife of all time, and that is the Lion Steel SR2 in that red anodized aluminum. Just a phenomenal blade. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I just feel it just feels really, really good in hands. Like the fit and finish is amazing, and it's just a sweet blade. It's one of, like I said, it's got to be my favorite blade ever. And this has been riding in my pocket. I haven't even carried another blade. I did carry my my Zero Tolerance 0561 the other day, but that was just because I wanted to. But this is a sweet, sweet blade. I'm going to be doing a review on this one. I got this one at Blade HQ. Nico convinced me into buying this one, so over there at Blade HQ. So got this one at Blade HQ. Been carrying it ever since. It's got a glass breaker on the end. It is a frame lock. One of the cool things about it is this over travel stop also rotates. So as you can see, it rotates down, and then it locks that the frame lock in place so that you cannot open it. So it actually kind of works more like a fixed blade, and then to unlock it you just rotate it back out and then you can close the knife up. So that's really, really cool. It's got steel insert at the end of the frame lock to keep it from wearing on the aluminum. It does have Teflon washers. Hopefully you can see that. So it's pretty smooth, really smooth. I like the back spacers, how they've cut out the back spacers on it. Just a beautiful blade. The pocket clip, as you can see, is super low carry, so I don't have to worry about one of the things that a lot of people don't consider with those really low pocket clips or low carry pocket clips is the fact that your knife doesn't get beat up in your pocket. So this one sits in a dedicated knife pocket on my pants, my shorts, and so it sits down in there. The only thing that'll get any wear on it will be the pocket clip itself, but other than that, the rest of the knife is nicely secured, so I love that. So anyway, that is my blade. Let me just open it up and I'm going to stick it on my wallet. So okay, now with different clothing, this item sits in different spots, but when I'm wearing 511 pants, this sits in the mag pouch on my 511 pants. This is my extra mag for my XDS. But if I'm wearing just my Under Armour shorts or something like that, this goes in the left cargo pocket. So this is the extra mag for my XDS. I always carry an extra mag with the gun. In fact, I don't even consider myself carrying a gun unless I have an extra mag with it. And this one is rocking the 124 grain Speer Gold Dot plus P's short barrel rounds. Okay, so this is their short barrel load. So that's my load for the XDS 9. So that brings me to the gun. Okay, so the gun I've been carrying is the XDS 9. This is such an awesome gun, and it is a gun that has really spoiled me. I'm pretty much ruined after this gun. I'm ruined because I've carried the Glock 19, Glock 26, I've carried other compact pistols, semi-autos, I've carried revolvers, and this is by far my absolute favorite carry gun to date. It is just fantastic, and it has spoiled me. Like, it's going to be really difficult to go back to a lot of the other guns that I have carried in the past. This thing is so convenient to carry and so comfortable to carry that it's hard for me to want to carry anything else. Now, since I've gotten this, I do carry my Glock 19 occasionally, and I'm actually going to do a video here in the near future talking a little bit about the reasons why I would carry the 19 over this at certain times, but that's a future video. So, but the thing I like about this gun is that it's lighter weight, it's super thin, and anyone else that conceals carries knows that the actual thickness of the gun plays the biggest factor in whether or not it's easily concealed, as well as the height. And this gets it right in both of the dimensions. So this black here on the slide is just from a new holster that I've been using it in. It's just a little bit of I don't know, just dye or whatever they used on the leather. So that's come off. I've cleaned it off a couple times and I just don't even worry about it anymore. So when the holster is done wearing, it'll stop blackening my gun. But other than that, not a big deal. The only downside about this gun, and I'm going to be doing a full review on it, so I'm not really going to talk a lot about the details here, is that I tend to get a little bit of slide bite with it because of my fat hands. When I tend to really grip up, and I've gotten some slide bite a couple times with it. Nothing where it's drawn blood, but it definitely reddens up my palm. The other day we took it out, we were out shooting, and I was doing some concealed carry drills where I just pulled, I drew and fired. And one time I didn't get a really good solid grip on the gun, and it snapped me pretty good in the thumb web there. So, but other than that, I have absolutely no complaints about that gun at all. So let me show you the holster I've been carrying it in. The first holster that I carried it in was a Remora holster, and whereas I love the Remora holsters for what they are, it's still a hard holster to do in the waistband carry with. I think it's better for like purse carry or bag carry or pocket carry. But other than that, you can still use them as a side or in the waistband holster. I just find that it tends to not be quite as comfortable, and it moves around a little bit. So the holster that I've purchased for it is this white hat holster. I can't remember what exactly it's called. I want to say it's like the Mini Tuck or something like that, but anyway, it's their smaller hybrid holster. I opted for the Camel Kydex and the Horsehide. This is a Horsehide, and that's the black that keeps rubbing off on the gun. Other than that, I'm pretty sure it's going to stop after it's done rubbing. But that's the holster, and I got to say, it's absolutely up to par. It's just as comfortable as my Galco King Tuck, which I've been using and carrying my Glocks in. What I do like about these pocket clips is that you've got the ability to really tuck your shirt in a lot. So if you ride with a tucked in shirt, you can really tuck it down in deep with this holster, and that's a good thing. I don't tuck my shirts in, so I don't really have a problem with that. But the pocket clips are nice and sturdy. All the hardware seems to be sturdy. And White Hat holsters really, they warranty their items, so any problems I foresee having with it in the future, I'm sure they'll cover, and it won't be an issue at all. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much my EDC. It doesn't really vary a whole lot. The knife does vary. Every once in a while I'm carrying the Glock 19, but other than that, like, it's pretty solid. Like, that's pretty much what I carry every day. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found that interesting. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. Don't forget to take a moment to sign into YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button down below if you like what you see. It does help the video out, it does help our channel grow, and I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, thanks very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya. Alright, how's it going, guys? We're going to be doing some more testing here with the Project SPR. We are going to be shooting at 802 yards. This is the longest shot that I've attempted with this rifle. I forgot to bring my my hand loads with me, so I got about halfway here and I realized I left them sitting on the bookshelf. So what I do have, though, is this Federal XM 193. This is a 55 grain military ball. So we are going to be shooting the ball ammo at this range. So I've already got all the numbers on stuff.